Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. Pat Miner, dear friend of mine, he is the president of the North Texas Pioneers Rotary. I happen to be a member, and so does Sarah. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm also very familiar with Minnie's Food Pantry. Cheryl Action Jackson runs it, and the Rotary has teamed up with another Rotary club to really support Minnie's Food Pantry. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, actually, it's all 5 Rotary clubs in Plano. It came about, the seed actually came from a program that I do as a federal employee in my real life, in my real job. And basically came 20 employees in my office, amassed 5,000 pounds of food in basically 6 weeks. Wow. So with this time of the year, of course, there are community problems in every community throughout the year, but at this time of the year, things become more magnified, especially with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I thought, okay, wait a minute. If we can do this together as 5 Rotary clubs in Plano, and we just do 1,000 pounds each, it would be very easy to do.
Yes.
So I actually talked to my club members, and you also helped vote, yes, we wanted to do this. But more so, I issued the challenge to the other remaining 4 clubs. And within just a couple of days, they came back and said, yes, we want to be a part of that. So once we had that secured, then I contacted Minnie's Food Pantry, and they were very excited about it. So we're actually doing this. This is our crunch week, because next Saturday morning is when rubber meets the road, so to speak.
Wow. And so what is the goal?
The goal is 5,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds from each club. It's 2.5 tons of food. Theoretically, if you do the math, it's fairly simple because if 20 people out of each club contribute 50 pounds, which is very easy to do,
yes,
you realize the goal very quickly. So the potential to go over the 5,000 pounds is very readily available. So do we think we're going to make the 5,000? Oh, very easily. Will we go higher? That will be the interesting thing to see what comes out in the delivery next Saturday.
And if somebody's listening to this and they're not a Rotarian but they want to get involved, are they welcome to show up too?
You bet. I mean, this is a community effort. We're all human beings. We all care about one another through one way or another in our heart of hearts. So if somebody wants to do that, they can show up at 9:30 next Saturday morning at Plano Senior High School. It's the southwest corner. It's Park and Independence in Plano. And you'll see probably a whole host of cars and trucks as we amass and put the food into the pickup trucks to take it over there. So, yeah, if you want to show up, please do.
And I should point out to our listeners that Pat is a former city council person for the city of Plano, and your wife is a current city council person.
Yes.
And so you're very familiar with Plano. I think people would be surprised that there's a hunger problem in Plano, Texas. It's among the most affluent cities in Texas.
Hunger knows no boundaries. Hunger doesn't know poor nor rich. Hunger just knows that there is always hunger. And we have it in our school children. PISD is like 1/3 Title I, and we provide food for the children in those schools. Not just Rotary clubs do, as do other organizations within and without Plano.
Yes.
But it's not just Plano, it's Colony County as a whole. And as our population begins to keep increasing in Colony County, that problem is going to continue to grow as well. We can't just turn a blind eye to it and think it's going to go away. It's not. Affluence is always there, yes, but that's where we can make positive contributions, either through money or time or contribution of food to help make sure that children especially don't go hungry. We all perform better when we have food in our bellies. We have better temperament as human beings towards one another when we are not hungry. Yes. So it reaches across many different stratas.
Let's talk about Rotary in general, because you've done a great job so far in your year as president.
Thank you. It's a short year so far.
Growing the club. I think, give us the numbers, because I think they're pretty impressive.
They are impressive. Rotary has over 1.2 million members worldwide. We are a worldwide organization, hence the name Rotary International. To our district specifically, we have 67 clubs in the Dallas metro. And out of that, just this first quarter, our membership has increased about 35%.
Wow.
So it's phenomenal.
It really is.
But again, as the entire metroplex is growing in population, more and more people are coming here, and they're probably carrying their Rotary roots with them from where they came.
Yes.
But also, this is also an advantage to help keep growing the population. Shows like yours help expose what we do. We do so many different things on so many different levels. All a person has to do is go to Rotary.org or Rotary5810.org, and you can find out so many different things about Rotary and how you can help.
I want to get Sarah involved because she's among the younger Rotarians in the district. Sarah, tell everybody your story.
I am, and you touched on a great point, Pat, because that's why I got involved in Rotary is because I wanted to connect. So I see people moving in here and they're wanting to connect with their community and make a difference at the same time, and that's what I found in Rotary, and I'm noticing that others are finding that as well. And I love just a shout out to the North Texas Pioneers Rotary Club because when I walked through the doors with Rotary, I just felt such an overwhelming sense of family and community, and that's why I joined, and that's why I encourage others to join along with us.
Well, tell the story because I think it's kind of interesting. You just showed up with Dad for a meeting.
Well, and that's so cool, Dad, because you you invited me, and you're like, Sarah, come have a dinner with some fellow Rotarians. And I'm like, well, what's that? So I went to Facebook and tried to find out a little bit more about Rotary, and there was a Rotary Facebook page, and I'm like, oh, well, this seems interesting, and walk through the doors and everybody's just asking me questions and wanting to know about me and who doesn't love to talk about themselves with complete strangers. And it was just such a fun night. And that night they even asked me, Sarah, we would love to have you come back. Will you be a Rotarian? Will you join us in serving the community? And I said yes right away. I didn't even think about it. I just joined. And so that's something too, is that you don't just assume somebody wants to do something. You should ask them and really invite them. And so that's what I found with our club and other clubs too.
Very true. In fact, we even have visiting Rotarians from other clubs. We always invite them to join our club. So, it's a little friendly competition between clubs.
Well, one of the things that you're doing, and I applaud you for this, is you're really making it intentional, and you're challenging the members of the club. Hey, every one of us, just get one person to join, and we could double the size of the club.
Exactly. And all it takes is one to get one. And it's very simple math. But when you look at the sheer number that can be realized out of this, imagine what just one person, bringing one person in, and you look at the total numbers, the way that works out, how much more outreach we can create, how much more community good, and how much more we can do in the world if we can just reach out to one more person.
And Rotary's been incredibly effective in ending polio in their efforts. We had World Polio Day just a week ago.
On Wednesday, yes.
And incredible.
So, Pat, for those people listening right now who are kind of intrigued, but they don't really understand Rotary, I mean, sometimes
Sure.
I'll say to people I'm a Rotarian, and they'll say, okay, what's the secret handshake? Like they think it's a Fred Flintstone Loyal Order of the Buffalo or something like that. How would you describe Rotary to somebody who's not familiar?
Well, let's just do it this way. We'll do a very short and sweet here. There are some guiding principles to the organization, as there are with any meaningful organization. The objects of Rotary are basically four. One is the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Second is a high ethical standard in business and profession, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. The application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. That's the third tenet. And then the fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. And that's what it's all about.
Why did you become a Rotarian?
This is going to be kind of a selfish-sounding story, but it's actually with purpose. I work in downtown Dallas, and in my job, I'm allowed 30 minutes for lunch. Well, most Rotary clubs meet usually around noon. Well, that's going to be an hour. Well, I can't meet that specification. I wanted to be in a Rotary Plano Rotary Club. Well, they all meet during the day. I can't make it from Dallas to Plano and back to Dallas and to do a 1 hour meeting in 30 minutes. The time physicalities are just not there. So when the evening club, the North Texas Pioneers, was formed about 6 years ago, I heard about it. I said, I want to go and check this thing out. I really want to see what Rotary truly is. Because so many of my friends were Rotarians, but I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I went back home that night with such an energy and such an enthusiasm from what I saw. I told my wife, I said, come on, you're going to go next Wednesday with me.
That's cool.
And we've both been charter members of this club from day one. And the energy that is just there. My wife goes and she'll miss a meeting or two because she's overseas or in a city council function or what the case may be. And she's, what happened? I missed Rotary. And it becomes such a deal that on a Wednesday, it kind of shortens your work week. You go Monday, Tuesday, it's Rotary Day, and then it's Thursday, Friday, and then it's the weekend. So it kind of breaks the week up a little bit.
And I should say, as we close this segment, we are one of the coolest clubs in the district because we meet at the Greek Isles restaurant at Parker and 75. If you like Greek food, it's just delicious. They set us up in a back room, and there's always an entertaining speaker, and it's just a great venue.
And even if we don't have a speaker, we entertain ourselves. So.
Exactly. Okay, give us the Rotary website one more time.
Okay, Rotary.org. That's ROTARY.org. And if you want to go local and find a club locally, you can do it at Rotary5810.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pat Miner. Just ahead, the remarkable story of the Dallas Margarita Society. What started out just an excuse to throw a party 40 years ago has turned into the largest black tie charity in the world. That story is just ahead.
You're listening to The Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190.